What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I figured, you know what, let's do a review of the new BMW playlist that was added into Motorfest. Now, as y'all know, this is a new playlist available to everybody. Currently, it has a 50% boost, and honestly, I would say that is probably indeed needed. As you will see, it will end up helping you get more money in the events when looking at the playlist here. To be honest, I kind of feel like maybe those should be the base prices you'd actually get of money from the events, as I feel like a lot of the events just don't give you enough. For the side activities, though, we'll obviously have a bunch of photo ops and stuff like that, challenges as well, and also the custom mode, which, to be real, I'm not touching. I'm definitely not touching this one, as I really don't see a point to do this, if I'm being real. But besides that, guys, you will have yourself 7 events in this playlist. So I gotta admit, I guess you could say it's on the shorter side of events. Like, I really do feel like a lot of players might be like, yeah, I mean, it's okay. We have 7 new events. But at the same time, I'm looking at it going, well, once you do all 7, which I think can be done in around maybe 45 minutes, because the last event, which I will talk about in a second, is honestly really annoying. But with every playlist, though, you'll end up finding yourself going through each event. Now, if you guys are wondering, similar to all the other ones on this playlist, it will pretty much give you a rundown on the BMW history and some BMW stuff, which I admit is pretty dope. I've always liked BMWs in a way. I do love their motorcycles a lot more than their cars. Unfortunately, we don't have any new BMW motorcycles, so that doesn't help me very much, does it? But at least we will end up having some BMW cars that will make a lot of the fans happy, I think. And with that, we'll have a BMW playlist. This one, though, guys, if you were expecting this BMW playlist to be similar to the Ferrari one, I would say you'll probably be a little bit disappointed. Now, not necessarily in a terrible way, but I do feel like that one might have had more depth to it in some ways, obviously more events and stuff like that. But let's talk about the race a little bit. So the first one you will end up doing in this is a multi-vehicle. You will end up on the Hanauma racetrack. You will end up using the new BMW 3.0 CSL in that event, at least the first part of it. After that, the second lap, you have to use a motorcycle. Then the final lap, use the BMW like hybrid V8 type of thing. So you will be using different vehicles in each one. To be honest, seeing the motorcycle in that kind of made me laugh, guys, but the race itself is not all that different, as you pretty much do a lap in each vehicle, and that's kind of it on that one. Obviously, the location you'll be at will also be somewhere you're probably familiar with, because we have been racing on this track basically since launch, so probably nothing new there. Besides that, with the BMW M3, which is the second event, this one will have a decent layout on the road, I guess, for the most part. Obviously, guys, a lot of these races are located in Maui, which is great, considering most of Maui is still super empty and definitely needs more space, or, you know, I guess you could say plenty of space to add races into it. So seeing new races like this is definitely dope, and every single event that you will end up doing will end up having like the BMW like emblems and stuff like that, and like big photos of BMWs and stuff similar to like the Z4 race. A lot of these will end up taking you on different routes and stuff that you probably might end up being familiar with, as some of the races may overlap a little bit. They may not. They could also be like a new route at least, so at least it's something different. I just kind of wish they'd put more races into the playlist and maybe like put more depth into them, as I feel like, I don't know, dude, I kind of think they get boring really quick. Like, I did the whole playlist last night and I went through it and I was like, that's it? Like, I kind of did it, and I was like, okay, well, what's next? Like, right after I did it. Mind you, I was just messing around and still got it done fairly quick. Speaking of that, the next event, though, is the R1200 GS Adventure Rally Raid event. Guys, I feel like a lot of people won't mind this bike because the bike's not upgraded in the base version of the event. I do actually like the track on this one. It's pretty entertaining. I like the route on it for the most part. It's nice to see a off-road event pop in, you know, every 15 or so playlists. It's nice to see a new rally raid event, or even a rally, which I think is forgotten about. But at least we will end up seeing a new rally raid event, right? Although I do feel like a lot of people might not be the biggest fan of the bike again. But luckily, guys, the one thing it has going for it, it is stock in the event itself. Maxed out, the motorcycles are honestly not that great. Besides that, the next event is the M4 CSL. What's kind of funny to me is how they did end up putting this car into a race in the playlist, knowing that a lot of players obviously didn't get it. A lot of people can say, well, Block, that's a skill issue. But either way, though, it is still a car that people cannot get at least anytime soon because it was in the Summit. The race itself, though, you guys might end up recognizing from the Summit. It's basically a circuit event. You obviously have to do 2 laps around it. The route was fairly decent. Wasn't anything too special or crazy, I would say. It's kind of like a circuit race. I would say the biggest highlight of this event for people is at least they can use the M4. Am I right? Besides that, guys, the i8 Roadster event, again, if you did end up doing the Summit, this race was also part of that as well. And now, if you obviously didn't do that Summit and you check out this video later, then this race will obviously be located by the Big Volcano area in Maui, which honestly, I do like this route. It's actually pretty dope. I like racing around like the super big S-turns and seeing like the nice like atmosphere and stuff, and also on top of that the landscaping of like the entire volcano. It is nice, dude, like I admit that. And you know what, I'll even say it, I feel like for me this race was probably my favorite one overall in the entire playlist, at least the overall atmosphere of the route and stuff like that. To be real, the other races kind of felt a bit generic. The off-road one was kind of cool, even though the BMW bike is terrible, but here's the thing. I did enjoy that race. I felt like the other ones were okay, even though, again, I felt like they were just kind of generic guys. The last race, though, bro, I'm going to be 100% real. This race kind of ruined the entire playlist for me, guys. And the reason why I say that, it comes down to a few factors. For one, you will once again notice here looking at the menu, as it is boosted, right? It is $93,000 you will get from this because it's boosted with the 50%, right? It is normally $62,000 on a base that you would actually get. And here's the thing, on average the race would take you around 13 minutes in custom mode, obviously driving some faster vehicles. Here, I'll go back to custom mode. Let's check out Alpha GP, and that's around 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Obviously that's a tad faster, but here's the thing though, if you were doing something like custom mode, then yeah, it's quicker. 93,000 with boost, $62,000 is the thing we will want to look at here. If I head back into this, guys, and head over to a different playlist that has a long race, let me go over Maui Expedition. This race, guys, is also $62,000. You're like, well, yeah, Blocked, it's the same. Well, the difference is in custom, even with using an Alpha GP vehicle, this race can be done in around 8 minutes. So it's still 1 minute and 30 seconds faster. And that's the crazy part. You will even see I even did under 8 minutes on this race. So yes, it's around 1 minute and 30-ish seconds faster than the other race, which people might be like, well, Blocked, it's just 1 minute and 30. And well, here's the thing. 1 minute and 30 is kind of a long time, bro, because that will pretty much be extra runs over time doing that said race, so you will eventually obviously make more money. Heading over to Liberty Walk, guys, this has the oldest, longest race in the game. And the insane part to me, though, is even to this day, this race is still unchanged at $62,000. Now, as you guys will see right here, if you use a playlist-based vehicle alone, it's around 16 minutes. Going over to the custom version of it, though, going over to Alpha GP, it's around 10 minutes. So technically this race is still faster than that one as well, in a way, if you want to shave off a little bit of time there. And also Maui Expedition, if you're looking to make money, it is way faster than the final event, dude. And I'm also going to admit something else. I found the other two races a bit more fun, guys. I'm not going to lie. The final race in this kind of made me want to go to sleep, bro. Like, I'm going to be real. I feel like it kind of made me want to take a nap. Like, when I was playing it, I was like, yeah, this is honestly, it's kind of boring. And also, it kind of reflects of a big issue that the playlists have in general. They don't really draw you into them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, shouldn't playlists want to keep you in them and have you, you know, go back in and race or do the events again and have fun and stuff? But I don't know, dude. I just don't feel that with this new playlist at all. Like, I did it, and I'm like, okay, cool. Anyway, what do I do now? Because why would I want to go in and do a, you know, 11-minute race or something like that, driving slower cars and, you know, make around the same money, if not less, than some of the other long races where I could go into that one and make more. Now, people can be like, well, it's not just about the money, and yes, you could use some of your favorite cars and jump in, as you obviously have to pick 3 different vehicles in this, as it's a multi-vehicle. I don't know, dude. I still feel like there's better ways to do this stuff. I do understand that maybe Ivory Tower's not pushing playlists out to people in a way that they want them to stay on it. Maybe they want you to go to Grand Racing after, because I'm gonna be real, dude. This one was pretty forgotten, bro. Like, as I said before, it's not like a terrible playlist. I do like the BMW background. That stuff is dope. Showing you like the motorcycles and the museum and all the cool cars, and going over like some of the designs of like the M3, and talking about like the new like Le Mans looking car as well, and talking about like the M4. Like, that stuff's very cool, man. I love history. I do enjoy, you know, learning about that stuff and seeing where certain things come from on these cars and seeing how they're made. That stuff's really cool. I do enjoy that design with this, but I just feel like the races themselves, in a way, like, most of them just feel kind of generic, man. Like, I feel like players will do them and go, oh, this is cool. Then once it's done, you're like, okay, well, what's next type of thing, you know? Because I can tell you right now, a lot of players, dude, they're not going back and doing the last race in this playlist. I don't think anybody will. Obviously, if you want to go back in and try to maybe beat your time on the races, if that's even worth doing. If you want to go into the custom mode, which I don't really see myself doing any of the races in the custom mode, as I pretty much have everything in the Prestige shop anyway, so I don't really need tickets, so I'm probably not going to go in and do the exact same races over and over again. I don't know. That's something I was thinking about, man. Like, I do understand they want to release more playlists and stuff like that of, like, maybe specific manufacturers, which is dope. I do like learning the history of that stuff. For one, maybe make the races a bit more interesting and stuff like that, but also give us more of them, dude, because 7 races, dude, it is so quick. The funny part is, guys, I wanted to say this, if that final race wasn't 15 or, like, 13 minutes long, you could probably do this entire playlist in maybe under 30 minutes. Like, you probably could do it in like 30 something minutes. You skip all the cutscenes and do just the straight races. It's probably like 35 minutes, maybe 30. Long race makes it like around almost 50-ish minutes, maybe something like that. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. I really do feel like the biggest issue with these playlists is the fact that you have to wait months for them, you do them, and then once you end up doing them, they're just forgotten in like an hour, and players are just like, okay, moving on to the next thing, as these don't really have anything really pulling you into them, and I feel like that's kind of the biggest flaw with the entire playlist design.